central dressing. Can you tell me your name, Chester, your date of birth, 5/5/1955. I can raise his head in the bed up a little bit, wash my hands. I'm gonna open my plate. And I don't want to put my exam gloves on yet because I don't want to put them in my hair when I put my mask on. This has a little tab. Sometimes it's kind of hidden in there, but if you look, there'll be a little tab to start opening this thing. And this thing, I'll work over here because I don't want to reach across my sterile field. If you try to open it diagonally, it's going to close up on you. So try to work with it and try to get it to open. And you can go to this side and this side, because if you try to fold it this way, it's going to want to close up. Last one. See? So if you hold it side to side, it's usually impossible. And I'll probably just tell you it's okay. It's try to do your best. And then you see the mask. So that'll be your reminder to ask Mr. Chester if he wants a mask. And he'll already have his on. And then you take your mask out and you can put that on. And with the mask, you want to be sure that the wire is on the top of your nose so it pinches and you can get it. And on these practice ones, don't use them because they're handled and used. But on the checkoff, you'll have a brand new kit, so it'll be sterile. So I expect you to put your mask on because you're going to have to when you do this out in clinical or as a nurse. And then you, after you have it on, you also open that accordion fold and get it under your chin so it's really secure. So we want to see that. We want to know that you know how to put a mask on because when you go to OB, you need to do this. So I've got my mask on, and then I can pull out my gloves as sterilely as I can. And then I can put on my exam gloves because I already have my mask on, you know. Or I can go ahead and add these things without gloves and just add them to your sterile field, but don't throw that packet in there. Okay, so I've added to my sterile field. I will get my exam gloves. And what I'm going to do is remove things with just clean gloves. So the first thing I'm going to remove is the dressing. And I think this person put theirs on right, so I'm going to have trouble.
Just wondering.
Because you want this at 5 or 7 o'clock. So I'm going to remove it from the bottom. If you can't, because you can't get a purchase with your glove probably on their skin, lift up on the tails, because usually you'll have a big dressing on. Today we're just practicing with the little dressings you use for the peripheral IV. But in the sterile kit, it's a big transparent dressing. So I'm going to lift up on the tail so I can grab it, and I'm going to go from bottom to top. And I'm hoping that that BioCap will come with this, but it didn't because they didn't put it on right. And we'll take it from you to get it off your glove because it'll stick on your glove. And we want to save these. So if it doesn't come off, then you would just take it from the edges and pull it out. You don't want to touch the middle or the catheter where it goes into them because that's what you're trying to keep as clean as possible and I'm not sterile. So we'll ask to save that. And then I'll have to take the stat lock off. So to do that, I need to open the doors. This one only has one door left. And it's been staying all day. Amazing. And pull it off the pegs. And then do the second door to open. And then you would use some alcohol and really try to clean this off and get it off. It's going to stick really well, and you'll really have to work at it with an alcohol prep, and that's what's in there. So that simulates that we took it off. That's all you have to do. So then you might as well look at your site right now and make sure that there's no purulent drainage, no redness, the catheter hasn't pulled out of the skin. So you note all that, and then you're going to get sterile. So you can't go wash your hands because you've got your sterile field open. You don't want to turn your back on your sterile field. So you'll just go ahead and put on your exam gloves. And we expect you to use exam gloves. If you can do a medium, that's what's in the package. If you need to have a larger size, then we can pre-package some exam gloves, just pretend they're sterile gloves. So these sterile gloves often, this is very strange. Okay. often are stuck together. This one doesn't seem to be. I've had two today that were stuck together. And then the best way to deal with that is try to lift the one up and try to put your hand in and hope the other one falls off back onto your sterile field. But I lucked out. So you want to pick up your first glove by the edge. It's going to be inside. So it's going to be the non-sterile, and keep your hands out. And thumbs. I should try to find the thumb so I can keep all my other fingers straight. There's over here. It's on the other side. So, do it this way. And then you can pull it down. And then this one I can touch anywhere because I'm sterile. So I can turn it at a better angle if I like. And then once I'm ready to put my hand in, this thumb's got to go away. So I'm just reminding you because I find so many students forget how to sterile glove. Okay, so unless you're doing that in clinical. So now I'm sterile. You can just leave that thing there. You don't have to knock it on the floor with your elbow or anything.
It'll remind you to put your stuff on it.
Okay, so you're going to clean. The first thing I want is the chloroprep. And this has little wings, so when you're really using it, we'll probably just have you use it dry, but you would crack the wings. And there's the chloroprep is down here, so you need to turn it so it runs down to the little sponge. And that's it. And then you're going to do what they call basket weave, so it's up and down and back and forth. It's not in a circle from the center out. And you're going to clean the whole area where that stat lock would be. You lift up the catheter and clean underneath. And you're going to clean for at least 30 seconds. And you do that whole area. And then you let it dry for 30 seconds.
If you have drainage, would you use anything else prior to using?
If you've got some bloody drainage, it's some fresh, we put in subclavian, then it may have some dry bloody drainage, and the alcohol swab works really good for removing that too.
Could you use the alcohol, let dry veins?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I get the little crusties out of the way first and then
Yeah.
scrub with your fork.
For checkup, are we taking the stat lock off?
No.
Okay.
I'm
we're
just gonna leave it like that, unless the only time I might is if we've lost both doors.
Okay.
I might have you put the new one on.
Takes forever to get it on.
Right.
And I may have you just put it down over part of that one,
Okay.
just so that speeds it up. So then don't throw this onto your sterile field, throw it down here. Then you're gonna use skin prep. Skin prep is gonna protect the skin, so when you pull off that dressing, hopefully you're just pulling off some of the skin prep and not their skin. And
Actually looks like this.
Yeah. But it does come in swab sticks too.
Comes in the
But
stat
this is
lock.
alcohol, but we're pretending it's skin prep. So then you'll stay a dime sized away from the insertion site, because otherwise it gets the catheter kind of sticky, and you can lift up again to get it under here. You want it under the whole area that you're going to be putting the dressing, this see-through oxide transparent dressing. So you can just do that whole area, and then you let it dry, because it gets kind of tacky, if you remember from ostomies. It gets kind of tacky and then it dries and it's nice and smooth. Okay, so then I want to put, my stat lock next. So we're not going to really put it on, but you would open the doors, you would put the catheter on the pegs, then you, while you're here, you would be pushing the doors shut, not pushing on their chest, but pushing on your fingers. So on this one, I would put it on the pegs here, and these slide, pegs slide a little bit to accommodate two different sized catheters. And then you can shut the doors, and if I had two doors, I shut both doors. Okay? And then I put the bio patch on. This one's hard to tell, but whatever you decide is the bluer side of it. The blue side goes up. That's a real one there. And the writing's kind of faded, but it says this side up. Because, and I remember this, having trouble, I'm getting ready to change this, and then I couldn't remember which side is the medicated side, and have the patient turn over that little package and let me see it. Because And you see the blue side was the one that was medicated, blue side up. So they made it simple for us, them nurses, and right on there. So then you wanna turn it to 5 or 7 o'clock, because you want, for one thing, when you remove that clear dressing, you want that to come out
To go
with
with
it. And the other thing is, if it's right under the catheter, the catheter's gonna work itself in between that split, and then you're not having the 360-degree coverage of the microbial chloroprep stuff. So then I can
So
put
you
the,
want it like right here?
yeah,
This
5 or
is it?
7 o'clock, yeah. Yeah, it may not be exact in this one, you probably have to have it a little different because it's kinda curved,
Mhm.
so. And then it's just like your dressing for your peripheral IV. So just do one way or the other. Up and down is probably best. And you wanna keep it out of their hair. So before you even got started, you probably tell your patient to pull his hair back or her hair back, so it doesn't get caught in there. You wanna avoid the neck as much as possible, because it gets wrinkled. This one's not positioned very well, but we can make it work. And then you just put that upside down. Once you got the upside down, just like with your peripheral IV, then you can take your gloves off. You can pull off this little border, and then you can pull your pen out of your pocket, and then you can write on this. Just the date and your initials. And then you put it on. It's best just to put it along the side, probably toward the shoulder, because the redness is usually going toward the vena cava, so, yeah. And then we'll ask you about the caps. How often do you change the end caps?
Every dressing change.
And? Cause that may be
When
just
you pull
one, that you're drawing
blood?
blood out of this all the time. When do the other ones need to get changed?
72 hours, 48.
Dressing
um,
change.
With every dressing change, which is how often?
7 days.
7 days.
7 days, because you've got that bio patch, that makes it good for 7 days. If you didn't have a bio patch, and the book was written before bio patches, then your answer was right, 72 hours. Okay. And then we'll ask you how do you keep your lines working well?
Flush.
Any other things you asked?
Yeah.
So you can practice together on your peripheral lines in pairs, checking each other off on that, and you've got time, you can work on this.